No. So, this is gonna be a special one, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be special because I've been going with shotgun for forever. And how long was it since we last did a video together?
Where's all these spawn points? God damn it!
Shall we stick in or should we?
I suppose might as well. I don't think it's going to change. That's annoying.
Yeah, let's go in. And then we give it some time. We'll drive in a random direction, or
It's somewhat limited how far I can drive in a certain.
I can head back to where I'm supposed to spawn.
Fine by me if you want to.
I can do that. So, quick rundown. I'm driving the Jakt Panther premium version, and Soft is driving. You wanna spill the beans now, or should we wait for that?
Nah, let it happen once it goes boom.
Yeah, I do suspect I know what you're driving.
I already told you.
Well, no shit. So, what was I gonna talk about? Yeah, but fuck, I just realized I have not done that. Some video ago said I will post a link to my DeviantArt in the, it's not comment section, it's, what's it called, damn, I can't remember what it's called. The one below the video. No, you know, probably know what I'm talking about. I was gonna post a link there to my DeviantArt, and I haven't done that. Bad God. Oh well. So, today's plan. I was gonna introduce one of the three major powerhouses in that book, and we're starting off with the protagonist nation, or whatever we wanna call it. We're starting with the Skand Empire, which I can tell you is to some degree influenced by Nordic countries, because, well, it can be said in the name itself. Skand is actually me shortening down Scandinavia, so Scandinavian Empire, if we would have taken the whole name, but that it ain't our reality, so. Soft, you can just tell me if there's anything, and or hell, if you're getting bored of this shit. So I am ready to play.
Right.
So, what are we actually doing? You wanna present the game mode?
Custom game mode. We are hunting each other's with no markers and no aim assist whatsoever.
And it's scary as hell. At least for me.
Yeah. I feel a little more confident because I know that if we start engaging in a long range firefight, I probably have the advantage.
Yeah, the arm of your vehicle. And the fact that you still remember what I taught you so long ago about how to fire using the gun.
These things are surprisingly easy to aim with.
Okay, I'm beginning to move out. 54 kilometers an hour.
17 kilometers an hour.
But yeah, Skand Imperium. How old is it? I can't actually remember how old I set it to be. Was it? It's 4,000, between 4,000 to 2,500 years old, and it actually has its own legend about how the nation was founded, because according to them, their lore that is, they have the history of that evil wizards, more or less, once ruled the nation, because, sure, let me explain it like this. I'm gonna name everything that happens before the book, pre-book. And there's magic involved in this, so evil mages, and they were driven out by a pack of wolves and a sea serpent, which stands as a motive for the Skand Imperium's flag. I was actually planning to go through the history. The plan was their military, their current closest history is actually related to the book, and some of the war machines to use. What do you think would be probably most appropriate to start with, Soft? Close history, war machines. Well, war machines are more gonna be famous vehicles, or the military overall. And I give you a choice here.
I would say history, since that seems like the most relevant thing to start off with.
Yeah. Let's start. Well, the entire history is gonna be centered about the warship Skjaldvall, which also is the name of the book. So let's start with her history. She was founded 40 years before the book starts, and she isn't the first of her class. She's a member, one of the 4 ships of the Skier assault cruiser class, and she's a bordering to a light battleship in her both armament and armor. But she has a very relatively thick armor, between 10 centimeters at the weakest, and that's just the pure hull, because they don't use wood to that regard. They use metal for the normal deck. So, and up to close to 200 millimeters at the thickest. No, just kidding, not 200 millimeters. Considering how fat would that actually be? Yeah, 200 millimeters, around that maybe. And her main
I mean, battleships have old school battleships typically had up to 300 millimeters. So
yeah, yes, 200 millimeters. Wait, what did I say, Shad?
do you say something in chat?
I thought, how fat did I say that her armor was?
Did around 200 millimeters, and then you sounded uncertain of it.
She, back during her day, I remember she's 40 years old, as the book is going. She's old ship. But she actually has a quite impressive main battery of 410 millimeter guns. Do you have any idea how big that is, Soft?
Less than a Yamato, or more than a Montana.
The Iowa, which actually saw service, had a 406 millimeter main battery, I believe. And she was a battleship. Skjaldvall is a cruiser with a bigger gun than a battleship. But of course, this is a sea nation. Their entire military is named the Navy, so, which is then, I might as well say it now, it's split into the Marine, which more or less is what would be considered a Navy in our standards. Then there are the infantry, the armor, and the air corps. And, well, I think we just covered the military foundation of them. There are still a few other things that I have not said there, but history. She was actually laid up to be the second named ship, Scar, but an officer that actually served on the Skjaldvall requested that once, well, what I know, at least the Americans have the USS Hornet, which they cannot have her decommissioned for long because she is more or less the pride of the Navy, whatever. I think I saw a documentary on that. I might be talking out of my ass. So, but Skjaldvall is more or less the warspite of the Skand Imperial Navy. That's the easiest way to explain her. She has the most, well, her entire line of ship, every ship that's been named Skjaldvall has had a hell lot of commendations. Skjaldvall, this current one, she has 2 golden anchors, and the golden anchor is the most, well, it's the biggest award you can earn in the fleet for a ship, and she has 2 of them. So she's even her predecessors only have earned one during their service, and the one before her served for 60 years as a light battleship. So, yeah, it's a decorated ship. Her predecessor light battleship actually ran badly aground and scraped up her entire underside, so she had to be... She was eventually repaired, but she was sent... First she was supposed to be sent to 10th Fleet, or the Reserve Fleet, mothballing, because she was so badly damaged with an upcoming war that she wouldn't have been able to serve. Not properly, at least. And then they needed a new Skjaldvall on the front line, so Scar, before she even was launched, was made the new Skjaldvall. And it's actually normally considered a degradation of a ship for it to be named of a lesser type. So, but an assault cruise ain't that bad compared to a light battleship. So, she wasn't... Oh shit, return to the battlefield. Whoops. Now
Yeah.
stuff...
Where the hell are you?
I'm just driving around at top speed at the moment, dirtying my tank up.
No kidding. At the edge of the map somewhere.
Yeah. But she actually arrived on the second year of the Alliance Empire War. And the Alliance Empire War, well, there are three major players. There's the Alliance, the Skand Empire, and the Fuguro Empire. The Fuguro, well, I wouldn't say they're a Japanese version, but they're quite close to an Asian empire in that regard. And the Alliance is several smaller democratic democratic countries and kingdoms that join forces because they're afraid that it would be easy picking for the two larger empires in the region. One of those, 2 years before the Skjaldvall was launched, the Ranar Kingdom actually declared war on the Skand Empire without the rest of the Alliance. Well, they didn't condemn it, but they didn't allow it either, so... One sec. Yeah, so, and... one of the people that would... Oh shit, I'm getting shot at! Oh! Holy hell! Ah, shit.
You killed my driver. You bastard. You killed Kenny.
Repair
My
the
driver's
tank!
name was Kenny.
Killed Kenny. On my screen it... Tank knocked out.
Right through the goddamn whatchamacallit.
Well, that was the AP. It was not an armor piercing, it was the APCB, whatever it's called.
Okay.
The, you know, the solid slug shell, more or less.
Yeah.
That one. So I'm not sure how it could kill you like that, but sure.
Well, from what I could see, it shot through my turret ring and then fragmented into my tank.
Well, I guess did good enough.
How many crew members do you have left alive in that thing?
One badly wounded, and I'm not sure if that is... Yeah, that might be the gunner that's alive, and then there's the radio operator, I think.
What, no driver?
No? Unless
How
they have
is it
changed
moving
spot. I can't see which one is which.
Well, if your tank is moving, he's probably sitting in the driver's spot.
Yeah. Yeah, by the looks of it, it's the driver that's wounded. But yeah, during this war, one of the key players, actually the Empress, Helena... need to pronounce it right. Helena Goldheart. Ooh, oh shit, that's water. That's not good. Yes. Oh. There's not water. I can drive over there. And she served as first officer before she became the Empress on the light battleship Skjaldvall, later being transferred as captain of a heavy battleship, where she later left to become Empress. And short history on her, she was for her time the strongest magician, mage, as it's called, alive. And she found a lot of universities around the use of magic outside of military, medical and artisan professions. She also laid the groundwork for the Skira class as she saw the need for a new navy ship, and she wanted a force light battleship, but it ended up being the assault cruisers known today as the Skir class. Name is gonna be in the description. That's it, the description below. And Skjaldvall is the second one of her class, and well, she couldn't actually partake on the first cruise of the Skir herself. She did during the maiden voyage on the Skjaldvall. She actually was on the bridge helping the new captain because she has been a captain herself. And yeah, an empress being among local folk, well, it's a known tradition among the Skand Empire. They don't even have a special hall for their officers. When on the ship and on active duty, all officers are considered equal rank and eat same food. Didn't I turn Skype off? Well, that's
What?
Oh well, now it's gone. Now I can see the minimap again. So
Someone
yeah,
gave you on Skype.
yeah, someone just popped up on Skype. But yes, the closest ship is actually Skir. She is 12 minutes out. If the Skjaldvall would come into or run its problems. It's 2 years into the war. Skjaldvall is all alone, and she's actually running magazines loaded with, well, what's considered slug shells. There's only metal to these shells. They're just there when running maiden voyage test runs to make sure she can handle the load of being fully loaded. And they actually get into combat with what's back then considered the flagship of the Alliance Navy, Behemoth, which yeah, she got 2 guns only, 800 millimeters. 800 millimeter shells, and she's actually more meant to bust bunkers. She isn't very effective against ships themselves. But they start engaging each other, and well, Skjaldvall don't have range, she don't have the protection, and she don't have the ammunition to fight her. But she actually, with their captain wounded, because one of the shells miraculously hit the side of the ship and chipped off parts of the armor. And the captain was close enough so it's, well, metal shrapnel hit him. And I haven't run around without any look around whatsoever, so, well, damn it.
On the bright side, I'm still looking for you.
Yeah, that's probably the only good thing. Time to find Sukawa.
I know your tank is in somewhat bad shape.
Yeah, but it's quite modded up now, so...
Yeah. Considering the angle you were sitting at, I'm really surprised that my shell punched right through your front armor. And I'm really pissed that the second shell hit the gun mantlets.
Well... the only thing that's not been wounded on my damage on my tank are the tracks and the fuel and the gun. And a few of the periscopes. That's it. That's the only thing unwounded. So since we're going over history, which, Behemoth actually plays a pivotal role. What is it? 4 years later, actually, during the nearly second last battle of the war. There are a few skirmishes even after that, but those are air skirmishes between Alliance war zeppelins and the combined forces of the Skand Air Corps and the Figura Air Service. These we're gonna come to later when we're talking actually about the Alliance, because it plays more pivotal role in how Alliance history turns out after that. But what actually transpires is that 4 years later all 4 Skier classes are launched and they're spearheading a smaller patrol fleet. So let's go over the class ships of the class in their full name. And a few of them actually don't see service even 40 years later, while the Skjaldvall is nearly the oldest of them. And is in chronological order: Skir, Skjaldvall, Skar, and Skor. Skor was decommissioned, and she was actually moved to the 10th Fleet 20 years after her launch. And I'm not looking around at the moment. That's not good. So she was put into the 10th Fleet, and she was later handed to the War Game Committee, which is, well, a ship that's served its years in the 10th Fleet might be sent over to the War Game, which is, you can call it paintball on a massive scale. Use warships, aircraft, tanks, and weapons that has been decommissioned from the Navy itself. And this is actually a national sport of the Skand Empire, and you have to be 18 years old. But if you have completed and done 2 years of war game, you're actually allowed directly into the Navy without any training, considering that most ships are considered up to par and being constantly upgraded even in the war game. Which actually how the main character in the book, Carl Sideiron, became a captain, because his crew served during the war game on a heavy destroyer, which later became what they would be working on when they entered the Navy. 2 years after that, they are in command of the Skjaldvall, and he is the 9th commander of her, or, well, commanding officer. 9th captain over. And I probably should be looking around more at the same time. But yeah, back to the pivotal battle. And Skjaldvall and Behemoth would, for the 4th time, this time Empress Helena is there, and she has for, well, the entire war been leading the Navy on pure guts and crazy skills that even reckless admirals of today would look at and go, those are not tactics. She has taken her ships straight into secondary battery range and nearly rammed several enemy ships in an effort to score victories for the Navy.
What side of the damn map are you on?
Yeah, I was starting wondering the same. Where are you? Well, you got a slow-ass tank.
I'm looking for you. You're probably sitting behind a rock.
No, I can tell that I'm in the EF area.
Huh?
On the minimap, E and F. In between those 2 rows.
Huh.
As for you looking, let's have a look around. Yeah, my tank's sticking out like a sore thumb. So let's be amazed you haven't seen me yet.
I'm trying to camouflage my tank the best of my ability, but it's a pretty big tank.
Well, you don't really... You just have to hide beneath a few trees and hope that I mistake you for bush.
Again.
Yeah, again. And now you might wondering why I said again. Well, during a earlier match, I actually mistook a bush for him and open fire and gave away my position. And I actually shot 2 shots before I realized that it ain't him. But yeah, where was I? Alright. The pivotal bar. The pivotal battle.
Bathtub.
This is actually a...
Fucking hell.
Oh shit. I didn't like the sound of that.
Nah, it's more like fucking hell, where the fuck are you?
This is actually a battle where once again Behemoth and Skjaldvall face off, and this time the battle ain't going in the Skjaldvall's direction because Skier is the command ship for this time, not Skjaldvall. And 5 minutes into the gunnery duel, since Skjaldvall and assist ships are busy keeping, among others, destroyers. We're getting too close into torpedo range, and the main battle is dueling with other ships, aka mostly heavy cruisers, light cruisers that's dumb enough to get into the firing range, and battleships. The rest of the fleet is holed up late. They've been delayed due to a minor. What's that? I found some machine gun shell.
I actually hit? What?
We've been hit! Damn it!
It bounced, which I'm not really surprised. This is extreme range. I have to use... I'm using my commander's binoculars to aim with because you're so far away I can't really see you using my actual scope.
I saw that saber round.
I can't aim precisely when I can't see you. So annoying.
Boom!
Oh.
We've been hit!
Whoa! Transmission!
Shell penetrated! Ah, shit. Return fire! Shit, cannot fire!
I think I zeroed in. Never mind.
Boom!
It flew over me.
Well, you at least have a full crew. My crew is just a busy repairing. Track blown up. Damn it.
I can't penetrate your frontal armor at this range.
Fire!
And I have a feeling it's going to be the same thing with you.
Yeah, and I'm using APC, so...
Oh!
What the hell?
That one actually went through the front armor. Wow.
You wanna know where it hit?
Where did it hit?
It actually hit right where the mud cap connects to the tank. Come on, get in. Ah.
That was some serious long-range engagement. I don't know how I managed to spot you. I think it's because you gave me a pretty major hint when you said that you were between E and F. I started looking over there, and I spotted something that looked like a Jagdpanzer. A very, very, very dirty Jagdpanzer.
No
By the way,
shit.
that's
You
the
probably
reason
wouldn't
you-
have seen me if I hadn't told you I was in that area. You probably looked. What?
I just
That's
asked you which
strange.
side of-
Look.
I asked you which half of the map you were in, but you gave me some very specific coordinates.
Yeah.
How many shots did I have to fire at you before you actually spotted me?
2, 3 maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm down to 10 shells. I spent 15 shells firing at you.
Yeah. So yeah, should we go with a pivotal battle?
That was the pivotal battle.
Yeah, 3 minutes into the engagement, Behemoth actually scores a critical hit on Skir. Using a high explosive shell, it wipes out the entire bridge section and several parts connected to it, killing close to 25 crew members, not crewmates, including the Empress herself. And while sure, the entire ship's shocked, no one realized that there's no one steering the ship and the entire command staff is gone. So the ship's actually slammed straight in the side of the Skjaldvall. And when this actually happens, one crewmate manages to jump over and find one of the intercoms on Skir to alert the chief engineering officer of that the Skir is out of control and that she is currently ramming her sister ship. So while Skjaldvall is trying to get help, he is trying to help Skir get her fires under control and to get her, well, from not being stuck in her side. Skar moves closer to the enemy fleet and then disaster strikes again. One of I was near saying Skir, but Skar's gun turrets are blown straight out of the hull itself. And Skar suffers major damage to one of her 4 engines, and both are forced to, with the Skir, fall back. On the ship now, holding front line, is the Skjaldvall. And the Empress is dead, so she's quite... Like you say, the odds are very much stacked against her. But what they actually do is that they're down to their second commanding officer then, because they have... Well, they've been strafed by an aircraft that's during the start of the battle took out both first officer and captain. And this will actually be the... What would it be? Second captain? Yeah. Of the Skjaldvall. He is alone. Reinforcements is 5 minutes out. He has to cover his damaged comrades in arms falling back. So what does he do? He sets the ships straight towards the enemy fleet on a ramming speed with Behemoth. And Behemoth is, considering that she got I'm messing up here. I was going to say 200mm guns. She got 2 800mm guns, but they are reloading. And this is a pretty big gun, so a minute to reload those things, and they are without the loaders. So, yeah. And 800mm shells, that ain't small. This thing got an 88mm shell. So, if they hold the gun still, Panther. Oh yeah, Panther. There we go. Take this. This is, well, this is pretty close, but yeah. 8 times this size. And yeah. So you have the Skjaldvall alone against the fleet, and what she actually does is that she comes out minimal damaged somehow. Nobody knows how. Not even the crew knows. 3 enemy destroyers sunk, 2 cruisers, 1 battleship badly wounded. The rest of the fleet has suffered minor damage from her vengeful attack and is falling back. Both turrets on Behemoth have been knocked out by solid slug projectiles that were still in her gun mounts, or, well, ammunition storages that, well, lost 2 shells they had. Load them in, fire, and they managed to knock out both turrets. They don't even know why there were solid slugs there, and they don't know how they managed to hit at their extreme range. And for some reason, this sounds reasonable to me when I started doing this, but I don't know about you, Saf, but this sounds like an Eber ship at the moment.
Like a what do you say?
Eber ship. Well, she was top of the line during the war. She was one of the best ships back then. But still, she do sound a bit too powerful. But she has been, from the very beginning, considered an elite warship due to having some of the best crews. But before the ship Skjaldvall and Skjaldvall actually disconnected, if you wanna call it that, one ship was transmitted across the whole command network, and that was from the officer that I jumped over to the Skjaldvall. Empress Helena is dead. I repeat, Emperor Helena is dead. And this message, let's just make this clear, they haven't actually exchanged the voice system on the Skjaldvall during 40 years. Sure, Skjaldvall's system has always been a bit buggy, but it's never been able to be repaired from that. And now every day, at the exact moment that those 3 meanings were said, it has repeated for the last, what will it be? Let's see, Skjaldvall is so 36 years, and I said 46. 36 years of her service, or those words are repeated every year at the exact time, and it's unable to be explained by crew. Shh. Everybody be very sneaky. We're hunting an idiot tanker.
And yet you
Fire!
almost died. Huh. Where did that come from? Somewhere in this direction. I'm not entirely sure where, but it came from this direction.
Fire again!
Oh, there it is! You blew off my track, you damn idiot.
Reload. Fire again!
Where are you? You blew off, by the way, you managed to hit my turret ring.
Hit. Shell flew high. Reload. Fire! Target undamaged.
Too far away, I think. I don't think I'm hitting you at all.
Fire again. That was gun mantle.
right,
We damaged the gun at least. Open fire with machine gun. Damn it. Fire! Critical hit. Yes!
I'm not entirely sure what you knocked out. Oh, I think you killed my gunner.
Another shell away. Load armor piercing. Close to combat distance. Ramming
There,
speed.
we're down to 5 shells.
Have there actually been any more history that I'm to cover? No. There isn't any more really important history that is not gonna be explained in the book. And where did it go? Oh, there he
You
is.
fucking kidding me right now?
Oh, F you too then.
Well, that one at least didn't penetrate.
Ha! Take that!
My main concern was if I managed to knock you out, I would have to drive back and rehum my tank.
I'm down to the driver and the gunner again. It's actually just like last time, except that this time there's no ammo damaged.
Silver rounds are really powerful. I managed to penetrate your frontal armor before.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I have covered most history. So soft. War machines or military organization.
Why not go with the war machines?
Well, I've already covered the Skjaldvall, so let's take Behemoth. Well, I already covered her as well. Alright, this Bulwark. Well, I can there's one thing I missed about Behemoth. When the Skand Empire together with the Figuro Empire actually won the Empire Alliance War, they were given, it was their only demand for the enemy surrender, was that they be given Behemoth, a ship that killed their empress at that time. And she's actually the grandmother of, well, Helena is the grandmother, not Behemoth, of the current emperor. So, what else do I actually have? No, that was everything about the Behemoth. Nearly. She was given to the Skand Imperium, where she became known as the only siege dreadnought. 2 more of her kind were built and actually saw 30 years of service before they were moved to 10th Fleet and later rebuilt into large, very very large transport ships that still see service in the 2nd Fleet now. A fourth hull was actually made that became the capital carrier, Bulwark. And Bulwark is actually a quite large, quite probably an understatement, very large carrier with an experimental catapult launching system and aircraft recovery. Let's end the match here so pretty quick. I gotta show a thing in hangar for this, so.
Aww.
You probably had me zeroed in at that moment.
No, I was still driving away from spawn.
Oh.
Low tank.
Back. Yes, back. I got user scenes that I don't want to show because then I probably gonna have to find a link. So, this is the Havoc Mark 1, and why am I spinning around it? I only have to show it from the side. This is one of the actual, well, it isn't a Havoc Mark 1 in there. It's actually a Figura Empire constructed light bomber that the blueprints were bought by the Skand Empire, and the Figura actually has, now I'm gonna have to find a damn it, appropriate aircraft. The Figura actually uses rear-facing engines, and they're actually influenced in what they were gonna have by this, the G7W1 Skjaldvall. I actually don't know shit about this aircraft, so I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, that said, the one on Russian Tech 3. The Beaufort is also a quite standing example of, well, I'm not showing it the Beaufort, I'm showing them Havoc Mark 1. It's actually the heaviest fighter that can be launched from the capital carrier due to their launching system. So, consider something this size being launched off a carrier. I think you know how big the Havoc Mark 1 is soft. Or how big, more to say. I don't want to test drive the tank. You have flown the A20 soft. Well, you own the A20. I guess he got quiet, or he got disconnected. I'm not sure. Sounds on. Okay, that's the size of the biggest aircraft they have.
It's a me.
Him. Welcome back. As I was saying, I might repeat it for you as well, since, just in case. You know how big the Havoc is soft? The Mark 1?
About the same size as an A20, since it's basically the same aircraft.
Yeah. Those things can actually be launched off the capital carrier Bulwark. And recovered, and they're used by the 2nd Supply Regiment to deploy troops, and just like most Skand Empire ships of light bomber and down, it can land on water thanks to special built pontoons, if I now said that correctly. but the Figure light bomber acts as rear-facing engines, just as normal all the other aircraft. That's their way of designing aircraft, simply. We're gonna cover that in their episode. So, that's another notable ship. What other ships are there I need to pay special attention to? Well, this is the Destroyer Spear, the former ship of Captain Carl Sideiron and his crew. I can't even pronounce this first officer's name at the moment, so... I believe I said his last name was Hurlberg. And I can't even remember his first one, because there's so many names I have to remember. So, no. Other notable people that actually served on the Skjaldvall. Yeah, no, I'm going off topic here, but since I'm talking warships and all that. It's actually the current High Admiral, as her rank is Supreme Admiral. Highest ranking in the entire Skand Navy. Piss, Hold on.
Hold on.
And we're back after a short break. I actually messed up the name because I couldn't remember the current High Admiral's name. Adrenia van der Rinta. She is actually, well, former Empress as well. When her husband died, she went back to becoming High Admiral. She was, let's see, she was first officer, not the crew right before Carl and his, but the crew before that, so crew number 8. She was first officer in. And her husband, the current passed away emperor. May the Skand Empire bless his soul and all that. I can't even remember the blessing. Yay, I'm fucking up again. He actually served in gun mount number 1 on the Skjaldvall. She was first officer on the ship, and she have, just like many other female officers, reported. I'm probably spoiling a book now, so mute for 15 seconds. They have actually seen ghostly apparitions on the Skjaldvall. Welcome back, all you who muted us. It's probably not come 15 seconds, let's babble up a bit. Welcome 15 seconds yet, soft? Yeah, let's say it have now. So yeah, what you just missed wasn't, yeah, it's to some degree important to the story. So that's why I said spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear it, mute. So, yeah, that's all about Skjaldvall for the moment. There's gonna come more when the books come out, and I'm gonna release more current info about her that to be said back then, or then when it comes out. I covered all of the major known war machines, and please Skype, go away. Yeah, let's talk about let's cover the rest of the army units. There are a few notable army units that need to be mentioned as well, and that will be the Royal Grenadier Regiment, which is the royal lifeguard of the imperial family. And they actually see frontline service, but unlike most regiments who serve on warships, they actually are not stationed on one single warship. They can be moved to any one ship depending on the mission. Skjaldvall has had the Grenadier Regiment 2 times, and that was during Van der Rinta's Adrenia Van der Rinta's Adrenia Van der Rinta. How you supposed to say it, that's up to you. It's your interpretation of the name. I can't even pronounce it myself, so. Yeah, what a great story person I am, soft. I just
I'm typing
posted
with
it in... Oh, that was in Squadron chat. That wasn't chat with you. Damn it. And yes, I'm now a member of Synergy apparently. At least on War Thunder. Not the rest yet. We'll see how that goes. So, and don't take that as me as being official member. It's this game because it's easier than finding everybody I'm playing with here and adding them, because most of them are in Synergy, so this was the easiest way to go. Do I have... I can take to an realistic battle while I keep on talking, so if someone wanna play arcade tank battles, you can do that.
I was trying to convince Daniel to join us for some hide and seek, but he says that to simply read out specifically what he says. He says, tempting, but I'm enjoying stomping around in the wasteland in power armor too much.
Who doesn't? Well, I don't have the game, so I can't enjoy it.
Boys, buy it.
It's too fucking expensive.
It's probably gonna be a Christmas sale.
Yeah, but so I just got myself a game, so with that said, oh yeah, we're covering special units. There is also the 11th fleet, which is the experimental fleet, and I just remember I didn't cover all the Skier classes. Scar is decommissioned to the war game, so is Score. Skier actually sees service in the 11th experimental fleet as a test platform for rocket artillery. No, she's not being fired at, she's firing rockets. Lucky for her, because some ships actually see service in the 11th fleet as target practice. But she was considered her major size made her more valuable as a user for it than being used at. And Skjaldvall might actually see what's considered dishonorable decommissioned. There are several different kinds of it. It's being moved to the 10th fleet and then to the war games, honorable. Being sunk is honorable. It's being moved to the 11th, that's being considered honorable, but nobody can really be sure because the ships can get sunk as test objects. It can also be moved to the what's considered the 12th fleet, more or less museum ships. And they're actually considered part of the fleet because they never... No captain would actually see the ship be turned into a museum ship in that regard, so they considered be in action. It's only a technicality to make the crews happy. And this the dishonorable way, being just decommissioned, scrapped. Which might be the fate of the Skjaldvall, as is mentioned during the first, second or third chapter of the book, where it's mentioned that the mission that the Skjaldvall is currently on might be her last. And I covered the Skjaldvall now, I think. Yeah, all needed info. Finally. Force organization, taking all the important ones. Or special regiments. Now, I've covered the different units they have. They also have the Air Corps is splitting to the bomber squadrons, the flying... Well, not flying fortresses, but close. You consider flying gunners. They are massive bombers whose... Well, they're not bombers. They are flying gunners. They're supposed to keep enemy away from the bomber formations. There are the fighters and there are the combined bombers, which is torpedo / dive bombers. There are the light bombers. There are the hydroplanes. Is there a ship that's actually comparable? Not ship, aircraft. There we go. The PBY is the only one that I can really... Oh, I don't want to put crew on it. I want to customize it. This is the PBY, but she isn't the only actual ship, aircraft. The way that the PBY hull is made is the most look-alike to the Skand Imperial hydroplanes, but they are a lot larger. A lot larger. So I can't consider something that looks like this, but you can see that you probably know this better than me, Softgun. What aircraft is it in the background inside the hangar on the American here? Is it
Let me have a look. I do believe that it is a B-24 Liberator.
B-24, you sure? 4. So look at, let's preview a B-24. Yeah, it do looks like a B-24. I thought it was a B-25 first. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a B-24. Not a B-25. My bad. Yeah. You have something the size of a B-24, more or less being a Catalina. Oh. Yeah, we'll look at this thing now. Let's go to some. Let's have a look at some of my British aircraft while I'm talking. And alright, and by the way, I bought the Hellcat, so I'm not yet in a game. Damn it. Well, let's take the Firefly. Yeah, working on that. I should probably work on something else much better to use. And I normally go down Japanese line, but I don't feel like looking for every goddamn skin I'm using at the moment, so yeah, I'm being that lazy. So, let's take this, let's take the Hellcat. I've been having a few lucks with that. And I think I actually covered all the aircraft while I was at it. Tanks, they're actually using the Type 2 chassis for most of their vehicles. And there's the T2A artillery, T2A2, which is the, I wouldn't call it an assault gun, but combined assault gun artillery unit. There's the T2T, the main tank, the T2C, personnel carrier, and the T2, what was it even called? Well, T2T, no, not T2T, T2F, Flamer, which is a city fighter and bunker cleaner. And those are the actually used tanks at the moment. Famous regiments here would be, since I need to cover the vehicle before I could actually talk about regiment, is the, let's wait till I'm in the air so I can concentrate on talking. And the second direct fire, or well, it's not actually if it's indirect fire or direct fire support regiment, using the T2A2 variant, which actually can retract its gun back into its hull. Command variant, or the T2A2C, uses a 100mm gun, while the main normal rush using a 150mm gun. And this is a unit that has for a very long time been working closely with the Skjaldvall. And I might put out right there, every Skand Imperial tank is considered a DD or duplex type, so they amphibian, heavily armored amphibian tanks. There's also the T2AA variant, of course, but it's not considered a variant itself, some modification of the T2A, where they rip the entire gun out and place 4 13mm machine guns and two 20mm guns, because what was I about to say is didn't sound right. And that is the primary vehicle. No, they're not really using the vehicles. Trucks and cars is not their thing. They also have the T2 CC or command control vehicle. But those exist in such few amounts that it's not even considered a variant, nor a modification. There, let's go to the Navy's different ships and other. And I have to say, this is actually the part I've been looking most forward to with this video. There's the light destroyers, the scouts of the fleet, and during peacetime they work together with heavy and assault destroyers on patrols. Equipped with a 15-kilometer range torpedoes and barely 100mm guns. Because they are supposed to be out there scouting and finding the enemy. And the only time they actually serve is during very large fleet engagement for combat. During which they BTD, B-25, no fights nearby, I'm safe. Oh wait, that's a B-25. And that's a BT, oh shit, that BTD is going for me. No, he's not. And that's a SB2C, that's nothing behind that. Oh shit, that Wellington is going down. Hey, come back here BTD, I'm not done with you. Yankee. Yes, combat flaps. He's gotten into a turning fight. Idiotic of him. Come on. Ah, shit. Am I being outturned by BTD?
You might be. You might be TD.
And that's a XP38G. Oh, God, this ain't going good. Come on, XP50. An XP50 has took me out. Damn it.
I'm trying to find a replay file to send to Daniel.
Yeah. And we were talking light stories, and they actually skimmed the flanks of the enemy fleet during major engagement. Next, we actually have the heavy destroyers, and forget medium destroyers and medium whatsoever, because there's no medium in the Skand Navy. Is it a light or a heavy? Let's take the Boomerang Mark II for a spin while I talk on. Next is the heavy destroyer, which is the main fleet destroyer. It serves in the main fleets, provides torpedo attacks, considerable anti-air fire, but that's not its primary role. It's equipped with single gunned 150mm to 170mm guns. And it can be equipped with up to 5 of them. These are, and most notable is the new Spear class destroyers, which runs with a experimental wave engine. She also has the new and improved Mark III anti-air auto targeting system. More or less meaning that, well, sure, it might be a mix between 1940 warships and such. They actually use checks are on this, let's turn it up. They actually have AI targeting systems and view screens like those in Star Trek Online. Star Trek. Yeah, heavy destroyers covered. Then there's the assault destroyers. The Skand Imperial Navy actually don't use submarines. They consider them metal coffins, and you have to be extremely brave to actually climb inside one of those. They actually only see service with oh shit, where far? With the special forces or the boss are down there. The grenadiers. And even the Grenadiers consider don't climb to one of those. Let's see. Yeah, they are... Well, assault destroyers are the... I want to call them wolf packs, but the submarine or Skand maybe. They're out there hunting enemy convoys, disrupting patrols, and being a pure pain in the rear for the enemy. During peacetime they lead patrols, and during major engagement they do what the normal destroyers normally, the heavy destroyers normally, being in the center with all. While the heavy and lights are out on flank during these spells. Next actual ship class is the light cruiser. These are considered Atlanta class light cruisers, more or less all of them. That has been the main primary thing that these do. They I can't actually keep up with them, I think. They are the main anti-air and anti-destroyer armament of the main fleets and keep the enemy at... They're supposed to keep them at long range. Don't always succeed, mostly succeeds for them, as they carry a hell lot of close to 200mm guns. Next are the heavy cruisers. These are your run-of-the-mill main battleships. Not main battleships, main warships. They're the most numerous, only coming in second to heavy destroyers and light cruisers, which has the combined lead. And they come with guns between 300 and up to 390mm, depending on class and mostly what year they're built in. The newer they are, the probably bigger the gun they have, because ship construction has gone up that much during the 40 years that Skjaldvall has seen service. And next is the assault destroyer. Not the assault destroyer, the assault cruisers, ships like the Skjaldvall. They are the smallest ship to be able to carry an armored regiment, such as the 2nd Indirect Fire Regiment. And they have guns ranging between 390 up to 400 and normally 5mm. Skjaldvall is the exception with the 410s. 410 is considered a light battleship armament. And, well, there isn't that much no more than that. They run mostly with the special ammunitions of the fleet, also known as the... one sec, taking a small dive. The mostly used ammunitions that they use are the APH, or armor-piercing high explosives, and bunker busters, with the APHE being the main and ship combat. Then there is the bunker buster, which, well, it says itself, it's supposed to bust bunkers open. Well, no shit, Sherlock, on that one. Is there any other shell? No? Well, they have a third shell. The flak shrapnel shell, which runs on light cruisers up to some heavy cruisers. And Skjaldvall's second gun turret has actually been replaced with an experimental Mark III gun turret, which is supposed to be able to fire 410mm shrapnel shells. She hasn't actually fired those kinds of shells yet, but she can bring them up into a nearly... oh shit, that's A7M. Nearly 80-degree pointing with a gun to be able to fire them. She do have a... oh shit, it's going... oh, that was close. Since they've never actually been fired in anger, they have No idea if they are working at that. Oh shit, we're going down! All hands, abandon aircraft. Well, it's only me in the aircraft. Man, I would love to own that thing. But yeah, let's return to the hangar and grab another one because I'm doing horrible right now. So yeah, where was I? The shrapnel shells, experimental shells. I covered everything about them, I think. Yeah, there isn't anything to know. What's left? Hell, if I cover more of them, I'll probably spoil the things in the book. Yeah. Next we have the light battleships. These have 410 up to 450 millimeter guns. Once again, depending on year and the size of the actual ship itself and the class. And these are your run-of-the-mill cruiser command ships. They command cruiser squadrons. They are not your main battleship per se, and they aren't good command ships either. You can keep up with most cruisers. Most. But that's the best you can do. They do have longer range than the cruisers, and oh, we didn't hit that at least, so we can take off. Yes up. We're in the air. Well, isn't that much about light battleship. They are a stock ship of the fleet, but they aren't the most well reputed to work on. Heavy battleships, however, your main stand fleet of heavy hitters of a fleet. When you want something truly dead, you send in a heavy battleship. Heaviest armor and guns ranging from 460 mm as its smallest to 500 mm. Which means, yeah, even Yamato can throw herself at the wall at this stage. The main command ships during major operations and larger sea engagement. These are the fewest of the battleships actually, and there aren't that many of them to start. 10 a total sea service. And the Skand Empire runs a normal of 200 battleships at constant activity. So they make up a very little majority of the main fleet. Next are the assault battleships, which actually makes up for 50 battleships. And these are 510 mm, might point it out, up to 560 mm shells. Main work for them is, well, ship combat, but they carry a bigger load of bunker busters than 8B HE shells. And the bunker buster is probably more gonna make a hole that's gonna sink a ship than make it explode. Well, it's a bunker buster, it says itself. Next is the they are actually the main. Well, you have the former 2 Behemoth class, which serves as transport. They transport material, they don't transport regiments. A normal warship in the Navy, from cruisers and up, transport regiments. And when you're using large engagement, you probably have 3 or 4 assault battleships, which can carry either 2 full infantry regiments or 1 infantry regiment and armored or artillery unit. But never 2 armored units, because they don't really have. There might be large ships, but you can't carry 2 armored units. Well, not units, regiments. So how much of a idiot do I sound like?
I don't know. I'm watching my replay.
Oh. Let's see if that's a good sign or bad. I got a few. Let's see, I got one ship class left, and that is the normal carrier, which actually used to be old, half rebuilt battleships, assault battleships. So they rebuilt the entire rear end of it only, and kept the forward gun barrels for self-defense. The new ones are fully carriers, but below the flight deck they have 4 a total rotating dual gun carrying turrets for self-defense. And these are your most numerous carriers, with only one capital carrier in service. She sees service in the first fleet, which is, it's considered the honor guard of the fleet, and only the best ships serve there. And to be, it's flat. To actually see service in this unit, and to be the I was gonna say the battleship, but the carrier, not carrier, messing up. To be the flagship or the first fleet is an honor that only the current Skjaldvall has actually held in her ship's names, entire series, ship names, entire length of service. And she only held that position for 2 years, which is a very short time, as I know. You guys saw that I killed that K-44, but he crashed into the walls. I wouldn't consider that my kill. I only hit him once. That wasn't fair to the poor guy. Oh shit, Vladimir's going down. No, not Vladimir.
Damn you, Putin.
Natsu. To the fog, Neil. Shut him down. Don't worry, Vladimir. I shall avenge you. Oh shit, that's a A6M2, an A7M, and a second A6M2. I'm screwed. But if I run, they chase me down because this thing is slow as... Oh shit! A7M1 just made a strafing run on me. I'm leaking fuel. I could probably return to... Oh shit, my engine just died. I'm not returning to the carrier. And my guns just ran out of ammo. Oh shit. Well, I just got shot down. Those I didn't notice. Winged Death Star, Wellington Mark III. Okay. I'll return to the hangar. I've covered the carriers, I've covered everything, and yeah, I'm not sure how anybody has been able to listen through to this point. Congratulations, those of you who have. Thank you for listening and watching. It's probably been more fun watching than listening, so if you have run it mute and just turned on sound. Sure, I can consider you having listened to it, but I know you haven't probably done, so yeah, thank you for sticking with me. Part 2 is gonna come up when it's coming. I'm in high school, I don't really have time to make these videos, so yeah, I see you guys around whenever I put up another